I think it's a trap that a lot of us fall into, this kind of wanting to be likable. And that means that we end up having these kind of false connections with people. You really want to be yourself because you want to attract people that genuinely like you. Otherwise, you'll just have friendships that are based upon a fake version of you. And that's going to be exhausting to keep up. So be yourself and be proud to be yourself. Use affirmations. Affirm to yourself that you are a wonderful soul that people are going to be lucky to spend time with and be in the presence of. You do not need to change or adapt for anyone. Your unique personality is what makes you special. It's what makes you different. There's nobody else on the planet like you. So please let your uniqueness shine through. Hello beautiful people, sending love to my returning viewers and welcome to anyone who's new. I'm Alessia. I'm really excited to be sat with you talking about friendship, something that means the world to me. Friendship is at the centre of my life. It's something that I prioritise. I think I'm so much kinder to myself and so much more confident in myself because of my friends. And I don't want to say they're my everything because I don't think that's healthy, but they are a big part of my life, and I'm so grateful that I've got my little community now in the world, my people. I also want to apologise, I've got a bit of a cold, that's why my voice sounds a little bit more nasal. So friendship and community in general is seriously undervalued in our Western society. Even when my world is kind of crumbling around me and I'm struggling financially or feeling a little bit uninspired in work, my friends have always kept me feeling hopeful, and they've given me those moments of joy that have kept me going through difficult times. I genuinely believe our connections to other humans are the most important aspects of our lives. Loneliness is crippling. Not feeling supported and understood in community can be one of the most disempowering things ever. We live in a world that's shaped by heteronormativity, which glamorizes a man and a woman coming together and finding love. I grew up watching films that painted this really beautiful picture that when a man comes into our life, when Mr. Right enters our life, everything changes. We finally feel happy and fulfilled, and we finally feel enough. When I was younger, I didn't really prioritise friendships. I would have happily have ditched my friends to have found the right guy, my partner. That's what we're kind of subtly or not so subtly told to prioritise. Romantic love. I really believed when I was younger that if I found a man, I wouldn't feel lonely anymore. But you can be in a relationship with a man, with somebody, and still feel lonely. Just relying on that one person to kind of fulfill your intimacy needs is risky. And when I say intimacy needs, I don't mean sexual. I mean, emotional support, shared understanding, boundaries, reliability, affection. I personally really crave feeling understood, and I think it's something a lot of us women crave because we grow up feeling misunderstood because of how we're represented in the media and how people talk about women. We feel grossly misunderstood. And if I'm being honest with myself, the time when I feel most understood is when I'm in companionship with other women. Only other women get what it's like to be a woman in this kind of patriarchal world. Female company is really important to me. Also, queer company is really important to me because it helps me see myself again and feel understood. Friendship and platonic love has been, for me, the most fulfilling type of love that I've ever experienced. My self-esteem really skyrocketed when I met my two best friends. In their company, I've learned to love myself in the most beautiful way. I feel like they've helped me put less pressure on myself to be financially successful, to be this big businesswoman that conquers the world. I think I also feel less pressure to look a certain way and to be beautiful because of my connection with my best friends. When I meet up with them, I really just have to be myself in order to have a good time with them and to feel loved and appreciated by them. And that is life-changing. It does wonders for the mind, feeling accepted just as you are, not because of your accomplishments or what you look like, but because of your little quirky personality. Okay, beautiful people, for this video I've partnered with Wild. Wild makes refillable personal care that smells so good. I'm kind of obsessed with all the different flavours they have, particularly for their deodorant. They have kind of Enchanted Forest, Arctic Queen, Sugar Plum Fairy. This reminds me of the Nutcracker ballet that I go to every year with my mum. Very Christmassy. Look how pretty this deodorant holder is. Enchanted Forest just smells like nature and waterfalls, and it's quite a grounding smell actually. What I really love is all their formulas are certified vegan and cruelty free, and that's really important to me. They don't use any plastic, they are planet friendly, and there are 8 different case options to choose from and 10 different vegan compostable refills. I've actually got this as well to put lip balm in. If you are interested and you want to have a little explore at Wild's products, please go ahead and use my discount code. It is Alessia20 off. And you can also scan the QR code that I'll put here now, or you can click the link in the description for 20% off. By the way, the code doesn't last for long, so if you want to have a little peruse and purchase a few things, go ahead and do it. So I really just want to encourage any of you that need that push to prioritise platonic love. Obviously, romantic love can be this beautiful thing that really helps you grow into yourself and feel safe and understood and special. But I don't think it should be the only type of human connection that we pour our energy into. If you watch this video into the end, you will have plenty of advice on how to connect with your people, where to go to meet them, what to look out for in terms of red flags, and how to actually kind of develop a deep connection with people. And I promise you, when you find that deep connection within a friendship, it will change your life. Finding your people requires you putting yourself out there. And I know this is probably what a lot of us don't want to hear. I think a lot of us might want to work on things in our own company and kind of watch videos like this to self-reflect. I think it's a lot easier to, in your head, understand what you need to do than it is to actually put yourself out there. But I'm here telling you now, you need to put yourself out there in the world if you want to find your people. You need to get off your phone, leave your house, and exit your comfort zone for a moment. And I know this sounds really daunting, but it's going to benefit long-term you. Future you will thank you for getting off the sofa and going out into the world. I really encourage you to do the things that you've always wanted to do, to explore what you've always wanted to explore, maybe a class, a part of the world, or a club. You need to put yourself out there in a way that feels good and authentic to you. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. What are you naturally drawn to? Movement, languages, nature. Go where you feel yourself. And you will run into people that are similar to you, that have similar values, that appreciate the world in a similar way that you do. So putting yourself out there, going and doing those activities that mean you are with other people in group scenarios, learning something all together can be wonderful. But I realise it's not accessible for all of us, and whatever your situation, I want you to be gentle with yourself and to honour what feels right for you. And whilst stepping out your comfort zone is important, I encourage you to do it slowly and gradually and not to shock your body and stress yourself out. So a kind of more gentle way of meeting people could be through your phone. You can stay in the comfort of your home, maybe with the people you live with and trust, and have a little look through Bumble BFF maybe. Obviously be safe and have your wits about you and make sure that you get a gist for someone and maybe voice note back and forth so you know that they're a genuine person and they are who they say they are. But yeah, I actually think it's a really beautiful place to meet people because everyone goes on there because they want the same thing. They want their community, they want their people. So if you're going to create a profile on Bumble BFF, I'm proud of you. I think that's really cool. And I don't think it's embarrassing or desperate. I know there might be some kind of like, oh God, is this going to make me look a bit weird? I get those feelings, but it's not. You're just somebody who values friendship, who wants it for themselves, and you're going and getting it. And I think that's cool. That shows that you're confident and you know what you want. I don't think it's anything to be embarrassed about. So if you are going to create this profile, I really encourage you to be honest rather than trying to be likable. And if that means that you put some things on your profile that you consider cringy, so be it. If people are going to find you cringy, they're going to find you cringy. They're not your people. The right people won't think your profile is embarrassing. They'll think it's cool. They'll think it's interesting. They'll admire you for being unapologetically yourself, for being confident, for being colourful and vibrant. The people that judge you for being on Bumble or for setting up your profile in a certain way and writing certain things are the people you don't want to be friends with anyway. We don't want judgmental, critical people in our lives, right? We want people that are going to let us be ourselves in the most loud and proud way. So let the people that feel the need to be negative, but don't let it disturb your positive light. So list your favourite books, talk about your favourite YouTuber. I think there's an option on Bumble where you can say dream dinner guest. And I put Hitomi because I love her. And I always connect with people on Bumble because of that shared love for her. And it also makes me feel like I trust someone a little bit more if they like her too, because she's queer and she speaks very boldly about spirituality and depression. So be clever with your profile too. You can kind of suss people out through how they respond to things that you write on there. And I'm sure anyone who watches these videos isn't planning on doing this, but I just want to say you should not approach making friends like we're taught as women to attracting boys. You should not play it cool and be hard to get. Message the people you match with. Don't wait for them to message you. Message them if you think they're cool. Just be yourself boldly. So you can be in the right place at the right time, but still not connect with your people. Maybe you're at a yoga class and before the session starts, you hear a couple of people talking about the best vegan spots in your area. And your ears prick and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, these are my people. We're going to bond over this. This is exactly the kind of stuff that I want to talk about and get involved in. God, yeah, this is so exciting. You do the yoga session and you just leave. And you just hope in your mind that they're going to be there next week. Maybe you just put it all in the hands of hope. I hope this happens. No, we should not rely on things just happening. We need to make them happen for ourselves. What you need to do, or rather what you want to do. You don't have to do this. What you want to do is speak to people. Go up to them. Initiate conversation. I know this is probably one of the scariest aspects of meeting new people, putting yourself out there, asking people how they're doing, asking people if they want to go for a walk or a coffee or whatever sounds good. It can be really scary and it can feel really vulnerable and we can get really scared of being rejected or coming across as weird, but we just have to do it. If we want to make friends, it's worth the risk of being judged a bit. And by the way, likelihood is you're not going to be judged. If you feel good about this person, if you've turned up to the same class or have similar interests or speak in a similar way or you like the person's outfit, just lean into that, trust in that, and something beautiful could blossom, a friendship could blossom. Please don't wait on other people to ask you out on a friend date. You will constantly miss out on opportunities to befriend people if you wait for them to come up to you. Please suggest meetups. Go up to people, ask them how they're doing, ask them why they're there. Don't be passive. This is your life, your opportunity to make a friend that could be there for the rest of your life, by your side, experiencing the world with you. This could be one of your people. So seize that opportunity. Do this for yourself. And please don't assume the other person will do that. If you're scared to go up to people and ask them out on a friend date, likelihood is they're going to feel the same way. We're similar as humans. We're more similar than we realise. More often than not, people are scared to instigate things. I think a lot of us play the I'll wait for them game. I'll wait to see if they want to hang out with me. I think we're kind of taught to do this when we're dating, to kind of play it cool, don't text back too quickly. So it's very easy to then apply that to friendships. But to be honest, I don't think we should even be doing that when we're pursuing somebody romantically. I think if somebody's turned off by you being direct and taking control and showing what you want, they're kind of icky. They're not someone you really want to associate with. So maybe you're meeting up with somebody for the first time and you're wanting to get to know them and you're wanting to establish, like a deep, meaningful relationship, friendship. I really encourage you to ask thoughtful questions. The art of asking interesting questions is something that is so worth learning. It's something that I definitely have become stronger and stronger at over the years with the work I do, and also just being around women that are curious. You learn from them. My friends ask me the most interesting questions and I just love it. It's so nice to explore yourself and your mind and your ideas through connecting with friends. Even the other day, my friends were asking me about how I was feeling about YouTube and kind of what I wanted from it and how I wanted to evolve through my work and through content creation. And it was a really good question because it enabled me to actually realise a few things that I hadn't realised on my own. So yeah, please just don't be afraid to ask thoughtful questions and meaningful, deep questions. If you want a close friendship where you can speak from the heart, you need to ask questions from the heart. You can't be afraid of being that person that goes deep. I encourage you to ask questions from a genuine place. Don't force them. Don't do it just for the sake of doing it. Do it because you're curious. And please don't try to kind of control the conversation through questions. Just if you have a thought I wonder what her relationship is like to her sister. If that comes up and it feels right, ask. Ask the questions you're genuinely curious about knowing the answers to. People appreciate you taking interest in them. So I'm going to share some questions with you that I love, that I would probably ask someone. Are there any movies you absolutely love or that really stuck with you? How did you feel about school growing up? Was it your thing or did you just kind of survive it? If you could go back and relive a moment in your life, would you? What's the moment? What kind of comes to mind? Is there something that you've always wanted to learn or try but haven't got round to yet? Another thing I want to mention is when you're interacting with people, when you're getting to know them, maybe you're on a coffee date and you're sipping your coffee, having a little light-hearted chat about the weather or whatever. It's a very British thing. If you want to deepen the conversation and get to know somebody in a more meaningful way, I really encourage you to ask people about what their dreams are, their goals, their passions, before you ask about what work they do. Because sadly, a lot of people do have jobs that they dislike, that they're not excited about. And it can almost dim people's sparkle when they have to talk about that. So I really encourage you to lead with, what are you passionate about? What lights you up? What do you do in your spare time? I do think everybody has a passion, even if it's not something that they're really actively engaged with or creating something from or monetizing. That doesn't matter. In my opinion, if someone's passionate about something, they're excited to talk about it, to watch videos about it. I really do believe that everybody has that little something that they spend their time looking into. That might be cooking, that might be spending lots of time in nature, that might be sports, that might be just the love of podcasts or music or fashion. I think everyone gravitates towards something when it's the weekend or when they've just finished work. Get people to speak about that, because it's so much more interesting speaking to people about the things that excite them and make them light up. I always find that people's passions are kind of infectious. I get excited on behalf of somebody else. I think their positive energy is really infectious. Now, if you are asking people these thoughtful questions and asking about what people are passionate about, I really, really encourage you to listen properly, to really be there. A lot of us can want to have our input in conversations, and we can relate things back to ourselves quite quickly if we get used to doing that, if we get used to making the conversations about ourselves. I think active listening is a skill, something that you need to build and work on. When you listen deeply, people notice, people feel it. People will open up more, be more themselves, be more honest when they feel that you care. So please practice active listening. Be there in the moment. Don't wait for your turn to speak. Hold space for people. I realise that this is maybe not the best advice for people pleasers. If you have a hard time vocalising what you're going through, what you're passionate about, please work on that rather than working on making other people feel like they can talk about themselves. It depends who you are in relation to that bit of advice. Okay, the last thing I want to say on conversing with people and having meaningful, satisfying chats is you can put yourself in the right mindset on the way to meet someone. Before you have that interaction, you can kind of look after yourself and put yourself in this good mentality by using affirmations. These are the affirmations I encourage you to use. I'm a beautiful soul. People are lucky to spend time with me. These affirmations will help us feel confident about ourselves. They'll help us talk about ourselves in an honest way, rather than trying to impress people. I know I've said that quite a lot already in this video, but I think it's a trap that a lot of us fall into, this kind of wanting to be likable. And that means that we end up having these kind of false connections with people. You really want to be yourself because you want to attract people that genuinely like you. Otherwise, you'll just have friendships that are based upon a fake version of you. And that's going to be exhausting to keep up. So be yourself and be proud to be yourself. Use affirmations. Affirm to yourself that you are a wonderful soul, that people are going to be lucky to spend time with and be in the presence of. You are a beautiful, interesting person. You do not need to change or adapt for anyone. Your unique personality is what makes you special. It's what makes you different. There's nobody else on the planet like you. So please let your uniqueness shine through. Okay, for the last part of this video, I just want to talk about like warning signs, potential red flags, things that I would think about when it comes to letting new people into your life. It's really important that we are protective over our time and energy, and that we don't let people in that are going to make us feel bad about ourselves. I know it can be tempting when we're lonely to fill the time with people that maybe don't make us feel good, but that just act as company. I don't know about you, but I would rather be on my own than feel lonely in the company of others. Our time on this planet is very short, and if you spend it with people that make you feel rubbish, not only will that make you not enjoy the time with them, it will have ripple effects on your entire life, on your self-esteem, on your work life. It will make you feel less confident, less trusting of others. Our friendships are really important, and they have a big say on the rest of our lives. So please be picky with who you let into your inner circle. Equally, don't be closed-minded. If someone's slightly different to you, that doesn't mean that they are bad. If anything, we want to encourage people that are different to us to be in our lives. We want diversity. Otherwise, we'll, be in this echo chamber of thinking our whole lives. So yeah, that's just something to bear in mind. Let me go through some of the warning signs now, because I'm jabbering on. My first kind of red flag is feeling drained during and after meeting somebody. Friends should make your life feel more joyful. They should make you feel excited about who you are and what you can accomplish. They should not make you feel anxious, insecure, low, exhausted. So if you do leave meetups with a particular person feeling depleted, I encourage you to reflect on this. Don't just forget about it and distract yourself and go on your phone. Really listen to your body. Reflect on how you are feeling in their company. Journal about it. And then maybe consider letting this person go, not keeping them around. Or if you have developed a strong connection with this person and they've been in your life for a while and you do value them in some ways, maybe consider having a conversation with them and letting them know how you feel. If you think that they're going to care and listen, maybe there's a chance that things can change a bit. But friends should not make you feel drained. The second red flag I want to mention is somebody who dominates conversations, somebody who doesn't make you feel like you're interesting, somebody who doesn't leave space for you to chat about your life. You deserve time to speak about your experiences, about what's going on in your relationship, about what's going on at your work, about how you're feeling in general. Friends should hold space for you. If someone leaves no room for you to speak, every time you meet up with them, if every time you meet up with them you think, God, I really couldn't get a word in edgeway, but it was fine. I occupied my time then, I went out, I was busy, it's good. There's a difference between somebody who's excited to share things with you and somebody who's got a lot on that they want to talk about, and somebody who consistently dominates conversations and shows little or no interest in your life. The last red flag and the thing that I want to say to you guys is it's not cool if somebody shames you for not drinking, not wanting to stay up late with them or go clubbing. You shouldn't have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations or to buy or consume things that you don't want to make friends. There are people out there that will just want to spend time with you, no matter what you're drinking or where you are. Friends should not put you in sticky situations and pull you away from your authentic self. Okay, my lovelies, I'm really proud of you for watching this video and for being really active in your journey to finding your people, finding your friends, connecting with others, prioritizing platonic love, platonic connections. I think what you're doing is really important, and I think future you is going to be so proud of you and so happy that you spent the time doing this, researching. Now I just hope that you're able to go out into the world and put yourself out there. Ask people out on a friendship date. Get to know others. Try out Bumble BFF. There are other ways that you can meet people beyond what I said as well. So definitely continue your exploration of what you can do if some of the things that I said didn't feel right for you or didn't resonate. Anyway, I'm sending you lots of love. Please do subscribe and like and comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, I do have a program for women that focuses on kind of decentering men and learning to love the self. I can share more details with you if you're interested. Just pop me an email. My email's in the description box.